Aloha and welcome back everybody, I'm the Clueless Traveler and this time I'm finally leaving Maui behind me to go to Big Island, also known as Hawaii. But first I'm going to show you my next house sit and tell you all about it and later on show you a bit about Kona. Well, welcome! I arrived at my new location, pet sitting house. Yesterday I arrived and I was picked up by the owner and they gave me a tour around the house and explained everything. And I just took it easy, went to the beach and just relaxed. I had a short night, so I was kind of tired, and then I worked a little bit last night and I just went straight to bed. But yeah, today I have done some groceries. I took a haircut finally. I finally got time to go to the barber. It was definitely necessary. And this is my new lovely pet. Hello. And there we have Shadows. This is Kona, I think it was. And here we have Roxy. And yeah, she's blind. So you have to help her around and sort of, yeah, she bumps into stuff. But she just lays mostly here. She's 13 years old. And well, it's a lovely house. This is my room for the moment. So I made my little working space over here in this corner here, so I don't bother people, but technically I can also work here if I want, which is a working space. Or even outside. So let's have a look outside. This is the patio, and here we have, well, a table and the view. I mean, to be fair, it's not a shiny day today, but you can imagine how beautiful it is when the sun is shining. You can see so much from here, it's beautiful. And you can even see whales, apparently. The owners, they saw some whales, and it's very beautiful here. Look. So I will be here for the next 10 days in total. And then in the meantime I'm gonna figure out what my next step will be and my next plan. And try to enjoy as much of this location as possible. So now it's time for some coffee. And I'm just gonna read the manual, the guideline of the house kind of, to know what I have to do. So yeah, welcome to Kona, welcome to the Big Island. Well, good morning. This is the second last day, or sort of the last day. Tomorrow I'm leaving again, so I'm walking Shadow. So this is, by the way, the road that you have to walk. It's a pretty steep incline, like everything around here. So just gonna show you quickly what this walk is mostly about. And in the meantime, sort of reflect on this house sit. So this one didn't really go as the previous ones, at least. If I can compare it to my previous ones, this one is definitely a bit different. And I don't really think that this was the perfect match in that sense. But it is what it is. So I have only been away on Sunday because the guy was home. And yeah, he could take care of the dogs for one day. I left 2 days ago to do something finally, because I was like, okay, I need to do something, otherwise it's a bit pointless for me being here the whole time. But also 2 days ago, they, yeah, one of them has like this stomach issue the last days exactly. And yeah, that means that I had to stay home again. take care of them, see what happens. And because the owner was frustrated, like, yeah, this never happens, like almost giving me the fault for this. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, I do everything I'm supposed to do. I walk them, I give them the food, you know, I keep an eye out on them, but I also have to work, and I also would like to do something fun, because that's the point that I'm here. I mean, that's kind of the deal. Like, I can stay here for free, yes, but I also want to do something. And yeah, I think that I didn't really fully realize how much work it is, and that maybe somebody else would have been a better option that could actually give their full attention to it. Because I cannot stop my lesson every 5 minutes to correct them. I cannot go outside, check up on them every 5 minutes. But I hear a lot of noise going on in the outside or in the living room, and I cannot, you know, go and check on that every 5 minutes. And I don't really think that they fully realized this when they accepted me. So yeah, it's not exactly what I was expecting, but okay. I just accepted this as a little bit of a resting period, I guess. And I just went into town a couple of times and had a look around the town, and that's more or less it. So today I'm gonna try to do anyway something, at least for the last day here. And then tomorrow they're gonna pick me up, he's gonna pick up the wife and then drop me off at the airport. And I'm gonna pick up the car and go to Hilo side. So yeah, you know, you learn a lot. And, okay, another quick example of what I was talking about before, about probably misjudging the situation and that they're still learning how to deal with puppies themselves, I think. So first of all, my theory is that the husband in this story is the one that doesn't deal with the dogs more often. I think the wife mostly does everything. And that's probably also why in our conversation, because I had it with him, that he just told me it's gonna be fine. Because I don't think that he realized how much his wife probably does with the dogs every day. And that's why he was frustrated now and stuff like that, I think. Another example of this, for example, here we have the Christmas tree. With handmade ornaments by their family. So it's a pretty cool, you know, tradition. So everything, most of those things are handmade like this. Those handmade things over here, you know, pictures, very unique things, right? This is from very recent. So, very cool tradition, right? So, the first thing I was thinking was like, okay, puppies in a Christmas tree. It's the first Christmas for the puppies. It's gonna be interesting. So, I already jokingly said like, well, I hope they don't destroy it. And he was like, well, yeah, we'll be fine. So this morning he went to work. I was working in my room, and then I heard a lot of noise around here. And yeah, I came here and something was destroyed. I don't know which ornament it was. It looked like a handmade one. But I mean, is that my fault? Or is it just a little bit naive to hang these things here when you know you have puppies that can destroy these traditional, handmade, unique things? I mean, yeah. And then they also chewed on a box, like the entire corner of one box is gone. Like I put it now in his room. Look. I mean, he left it here in the room. So yeah, what you can expect? It's puppies. Puppies are gonna chew stuff. So like I said, I think, you know, it's a very nice guy. You can really have a good conversation with him. It's, you know, a good person. But I just think that he misjudged the situation because his wife probably does most of these things. Because she was also the one that instructed me about the whole house. And he is mostly away the entire day, so yeah. And then I am here sort of in the middle of that. But yeah, you know, those things can happen. So now I'm finally going on a little trip again, so I will see you later. far from Kailua. This is the tourist town of Kona. So I'm gonna quickly explore this little town with the boulevard and everything, the little markets. It is gonna be very touristy, but at least you get an idea of the feel of this place. First, it's time for some coffee and a little muffin. Next to the beach, as you can hear. Beautiful spot for a coffee break, right? So let's have some breakfast and then explore the little town. So here we are at the back of one of those little marketplaces. So let's have a little look inside and see what it's all about. Shops and stuff. Kona town looks like a typical touristic cruise ship stopover. You will see plenty of cruise ships lying in front of Kona, and from there the passengers will be ferried towards Kona. Here they can indulge themselves in some Kona coffee, snacks, good restaurants and some touristic shops, of course. Main activities around here are of course snorkeling, diving, whale watching, manta ray watching and dolphin watching. But all that would almost make you forget that Kona actually used to be the capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, before it was moved to Lahaina, Maui and later on Honolulu. And you can still visit the replica of Kamehameha I, who united the Hawaiian Islands. So that side we have more shops. Look a little bit empty on that side, but yeah, here there we have shops, here we have more shops. This place is called Donkey Balls. Interesting name. And yeah, here we have some more. Here you have a cruise ship, people. Oh. An old church with the lava stones, of course. It's yeah, from 1818. So from just after the Napoleonic times. It's yeah, they had an anniversary here too. Yeah, 200 years preservation. Mokuai Kaua Church. Huh. I mean, looks nice at least. Nice building, but yeah. It is the first step of colonization, of course, of any location, is religion. Well, here is some more shops. Scandinavian shaped house. Didn't know that Scandinavian shaped ice. Interesting. And here we are at the boardwalk, or the boulevard basically, of Kailua. So it's filled with a lot of shops around here, some restaurants of course. So it's of course a very tourist location, this. And over there we have the cruise terminal. So basically there. And in the background we have this very big cruise ship. I don't know if I'm pointing the right direction, but somewhere there. So this is the off-ramp for cruise ships and all that. So those big groups of people you saw before are just, you know, here in and out, and they continue again. I mean, if you like that kind of travel. For me, it would not be enough. I would at least want to see it a bit better. And now, going back to the car again. I have to be back home, because apparently there's gonna be a pest control coming to the house to do some pest controlling. Never had that before, so that's gonna be interesting. And yeah, that's basically gonna be it for today. So that is the little coastal touristic town of Kailua. So this is one of the trickiest things in the US versus Europe. Because if you're putting petrol in your car or any fuel, in Europe, black means diesel, green means petrol or benzene. Here's the exact opposite. This one is diesel, this one is petrol. So you obviously can make that mistake very quickly, because we think green is good, black is bad. Now it's the opposite. So think about this. Black is the right one. So here we made it to one of the national parks of Hawaii, and we're gonna explore a historical sort of walk or trail where you can have a look and listen and read of the history of this location, and specifically the Hawaiian culture. So let's have a look and see what we can find. Pu'uhonua means place of refuge. It's a fitting name because this was the place where people would come to when they broke a kapu. Breaking a kapu was an automatic death sentence. So what is a kapu? Kapu is the ancient Hawaiian code of conduct, rules that are similar to some religions nowadays, and they tell people how to live. Examples of these rules are the following. Women and men couldn't eat together. Women couldn't eat or do certain things because these things were linked to gods. Examples are canoeing, eating pork, almost every type of banana, coconuts, certain types of fish, while men could do this. Another rule linked to this is called the kahili, which dictates how to behave around chiefs. And these are very specific rules. You're not supposed to stand taller, you're not supposed to look at them, you're not supposed to touch their hair or nails, and you're not supposed to wear red or yellow, which are the royal colors. It was believed that if you would break one of these rules, you would steal their mana power, which I will explain better later. So this is a sacred site. So I just watched this introduction video. It's basically considered the most important site in Hawaii even, because this was a place of refuge and a place of sort of spirituality, and where they, honored their gods. But the main part of this story is that here, in a building over there were 13 chiefs laid to rest, basically. Their bones were laid to rest in there, which made this automatically the most important site in the entirety of Hawaii, apparently. So that is very, very interesting. So that's why you have that sign, be respectful, don't eat, don't drink, don't sunbathe, don't swim. I mean, you can literally do it anywhere else on the island. So if you can avoid doing it here, it's a good idea. So let's have a look around this sacred place. This is a Hawaiian board game, and this looks awfully familiar to the board game I did in Africa. Oh, I lost the game, and now I owe her a drink. So you can see that doesn't matter where in the world it is, they kind of figure out the same things. So I don't know the rules of this game particularly, but this looks very similar to the African one. Okay, so here we are at the holiest place of Hawaii. This is the burial place of these 13 chiefs. And here we have these very big wooden statues. They are called, as I remember correctly, ki'i, or pi'i. and they are various gods from the sea, peace, harvest, agriculture, ocean. You know, these kinds of typical gods that these people would have, like we also had in our cultures. So it's very beautifully done, this kind of wooden structure and carvings. It's very interesting. So the remains have been removed apparently, but the idea what they have is that, so what they explained is that in society they had different groupings, kind of like a caste system almost. So you had the elite and you had the commoners. Whenever a chief or an elite person would come nearby common people, the commoners would have to literally lay flat on the ground, face in the dirt, because you're not allowed to look at a elite person or a chief. Because the idea is that a chief has something like a spiritual power, which they call mana, and that whenever you are nearby them or in the vicinity of, that you would basically attract a little bit of this power. So if you would look at them, yeah, you would take more. That was sort of the idea. So they had to be flat on the ground, face in the dirt. And why this is so sacred is that they didn't think that putting those 13 chiefs in here creates a big area of mana. So it's like a very concentrated place of this energy, good energy, where people come to heal and to improve themselves. So that's why this is so important.
So now that you have a better idea how mana works and the rules of kapu, you understand this place of refuge was quite important because people tried to avoid the death penalty and to redeem themselves. It was also a place during wartime where broken warriors could come and heal, or war refugees could come and hide. These people would come here, they will be taken in by the local chiefs or sort of shamans, and then they will be healed and redeemed by these people, and at some point they could leave freely again. It's believed that the first foundations were built around 1500 AD, and later on the temple was built and used from 1650 until the abolishment of the system in 1819. After the abolishment and banning of the Hawaiian religion around the entirety of Hawaii, all the temples were consequently destroyed, except for this one. They believed that the mana power stored in the temple protected this temple for the time being. Later on it was still demolished upon orders from the Hawaiian royalty, and the bones were eventually moved to the mausoleum in Honolulu. The current complex was reconstructed in the 1960s. And fun side note is that this is the only place of 4 in Hawaii where the Hawaiian flag is allowed to fly without the American flag next to it.
So here we have some of those typical huts with instruments, musical instruments, fishermen equipment, canoes, and of course their statues of their local gods. So yeah, it's very interesting to see all those things. So after visiting that religious holy site, you also have this trail that you can walk. It's called, I think it was 1871 trail, because that's when they renewed it for the last time to accommodate for mules and hoofed animals for transportation. So it's a bit rough, of course. You can have a look. But it's again to just connect and transport goods, people, whatnot to the villages around here. So, but now it's just a touristic walk for this national park. And it's of course filled with lava stone and lava flows, and it's really amazing how many fields of lava there are around here. It's really the youngest island of the Hawaiian Islands, so you can really see that here very well. I don't know exactly the years, I should look it up, but yes, I was told that this was the youngest island. Now here we have some goats. Hi. Hi.
She's
Hello.
friendly.
Hello,
she was
buddy.
just like maybe scared, whatever. Now she's like, don't jump at him.
Hello.
See, now she's like, hi.
Yeah. No problem. No biggie. Yeah. No worries.
It's okay.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Yes, you too.
Everywhere you go, you see these walls and foundations of what used to be, of course, settlements and buildings, and probably also just protection from the ocean itself. But imagine how much energy and time it takes to make such a wall, right? Because those boulders are not very light, so you really need to be with a team eater or very strong. And in the blistering heat, it can really can take a toll on you. But yeah, they definitely had organization around here, and you cannot say that they were not an actual society. Over there also we have more stones and walls going around here. This is a recent structure, obviously. This is concrete of some sort. Don't know what this was ever, but okay. I mean, back in the day, the US, and still, didn't really care so much about sacred grounds of native people. But they're trying their best now to improve this. But there's still a long way to go, obviously. So building such a construction in the middle of a sacred site, they didn't really care about that. Now here we are back at the ocean side. For some nice relaxation, if you want to. Well, while walking this coastal path, I met this friendly gentleman called Kurt, I think. And he started telling me that he has a daughter who is huge in the techno scene in the Netherlands also, because the Netherlands is renowned for the techno music and all these kinds of electronic musics. And his daughter is friends with Charlotte de Witt, which is a very famous techno DJ. And she was even underneath Charlotte de Witt, apparently. And her name is Oniva, like in French, Oniva. So I'm gonna check it later and see if I can find her on Instagram. But apparently she's a big deal. She was playing on many stages around the world, and she's very famous. So yeah, that's cool. I met the father of a famous DJ. And they live around here, and well, we had all kinds of conversations, so it's always nice to meet nice people, right, and have talks about whatnot. Gave me some tips for what to do around here, and yeah. So I'm now heading back to my car, slowly making my way back, because I can't leave those dogs too long in their pen, of course. But this religious site and this sacred place is definitely just interesting to just have a look at. Learn something about the local culture, especially, you know, because most of the people, they are aware of the Western cultures, but about those a little bit far away cultures, especially for Europeans, it's a very unknown thing. So I learned a lot today, and I will get some souvenirs now, and hopefully it doesn't rain, because the whole day it's dark like this. So I got myself some nice little souvenirs as usual, postcard, a pin for my bag, a magnet, and like a little coin. So all those things are very travel friendly. If you come to this area, there's also a very famous snorkeling location called 2 Points, which is literally next to this. But yeah, I don't have time for that, unfortunately. I have to get back to the dogs. Maybe I will come back later when I'm in my Airbnb from tomorrow, because it's not so far away from Hilo. But yeah, who knows. But yeah, at least you know, it's just down there. Very easy.
And that was it for the first episode from the Big Island. Let me know what you think about the house sitting situation. Would you have done something different? And what do you think about this ancient Hawaiian burial site? Very interesting, right? Thank you for watching and see you next time.